They say the war started over water. That's a lie. It started because both sides believed they were meant to inherit the world, and neither was willing to share it. The planet was called Kavos 9, a rock half covered in ocean and ringed with violet sand. It was supposed to be neutral, a colony world, a reset. But humanity brought its bloodlines, and the Varric brought their gods, and both carved trenches before the soil even finished forming. 300 years of death. No one remembered who fired the first shot, but everyone remembered who was still bleeding. My name is Commander Cale Wren, last unit commander of the 77th Earthborne Infantry, decorated twice, stripped once, then reinstated when they got desperate. They called me a war criminal, then gave me medals for doing it better than anyone else. Now, I was just trying to get my men off a ridge that was collapsing under orbital fire. The year was 792 in Earth Standard Time. The war had reached Echelon Ridge, a tactical plateau near the equatorial power nodes. If the Varric took it, they'd choke out every southern human installation. If we held it, we'd buy time, not win, just delay the inevitable. We were outnumbered 12-1. We had one drone left, no artillery, and only 43 soldiers. Half were under 25. Most had never seen sky before this war. I'd seen too many. At 0500, the clouds burned red, not sunrise. A Varric atmosphere scrambler detonated 5 clicks east. The sky peeled open. Our comms blinked out. And that's when the second wave hit. They dropped from hover rigs, Varric stormwalkers in black armor, each 10 feet tall and built like temples carved from bone. Their pulse rifles shredded the forward flank in 20 seconds. We had no chance. But we held. Because soldiers don't care about chance. They care about each other. Commander Wren, fallback protocol? That was Sergeant Dre, young, fast, still believed orders had meaning. I looked at the ridge, the bunker behind it, and the map etched into my wrist guard. No fallback, we buy the time. For who? For the world that still thinks it's worth saving. We dug in, lost 11 in the first hour. Then the sky changed again. A shadow passed overhead, long, sleek, and silent. At first we thought it was another Varric carrier. But no, it wasn't alien. It was ours. And it hadn't flown since the first century of war. Confirm ID, I barked. Inbound is unknown designation, no registry. But human. A ghost? An off-the-books relic. Then I saw the serial stamp on the side. OR9, Sentinel-class orbital regulator. The last surviving skyburner. The War Council had decommissioned them 200 years ago. Too dangerous, too powerful, too final. But this one still had fuel. And it was descending. I made a decision. Didn't tell my team. Didn't ask permission. Just took the strike rig, left command to Dre, and drove straight into the ash zone beneath that descending monster. They tried to stop me. Comms screamed. Sensors flared. "Commander, that's a ghost rig. You'll be vaporized." That's the idea. I didn't respond. I was done talking. I found the access panel half buried in shattered stone, used a fragment of my dog tag as a circuit key. The door opened, and the silence that poured out felt like it hadn't been broken in centuries. Inside, darkness. Then blue lights. Then the hum of a heart that wasn't mine. The Sentinel was alive, sleeping, and still armed. I walked the length of the main corridor, past old war flags, past command panels cracked by time. And there it was, the command core. A single chair, a glowing switchboard, and a retinal scanner that hadn't accepted input in generations. I sat, and the system asked, "Do you wish to reclaim control?" I whispered, "I wish to end it." The interface pulsed, and then it said the words that would change everything. "Ignition codes unlocked. Target system, atmosphere, lock grid. Warning, activation will cause full environmental ignition. Result, total surface immolation within 4 hours." This was not a bomb. It was an ending, designed as a last resort, a reminder that the sky belongs to no one. I could fire it, or I could threaten it. The second might give us peace. The first would guarantee silence. "Commander Wren," the voice said, "are you sure?" I looked out the viewport. The ridge was still burning. My soldiers, my children, were dying beneath a flag that no longer had a country. And I was holding the sky's last breath in my hand. I entered the command string, stopped one key short. Not yet. Then I opened the planetary comms. A direct line, encrypted, unmissable. One message, simple. "This is Commander Cale Wren. I control the Sentinel. I control the Skyburner. Sign the peace accord by sunrise, or I erase the horizon." And then I waited. The comms lit up. Earth Council, Varric war priests, unknown channels. Pleading, threatening, begging. But none of it mattered, because now they had to listen. I stood alone in a weapon that could end the war by ending everything. And I watched the sky turn red as the ridge burned, and history bent around a soldier who had nothing left to lose. And I asked myself one question. If peace comes from fire, is it still peace? The Sentinel hummed like a sleeping god. Outside, the sky was still burning. Ash clouds turned violet above Echelon Ridge. Crimson dust twisted like smoke across the old valleys, and across every front on Kavos 9, the war stopped. Not because peace had arrived, but because everyone was waiting to see if I would pull the trigger that turned this world to ash. I had 6 hours. That's what the timer said. After that, the orbital lock would expire and the codes would purge. One chance, one moment. I didn't need backup. I needed the world to understand. I wasn't bluffing. At hour 1, the Earth Alliance called. Encrypted, high level, no face on the screen, just a voice. "Commander Wren, we advise standing down." "You always advised. You never listened." "You're threatening planetary immolation." "I'm offering peace." "At the cost of what?" "Everything that was killing us anyway." They threatened tribunal. I cut the feed. At hour 2, the Varric opened transmission. The High Priest, 6 eyes, voice like shattered glass. "You desecrate the sky, human. I hold it, for now. This is not peace, it is blackmail. Then call my bluff." He didn't. He blinked twice, lowered his head. And for the first time in 300 years, he ended the call first. Hour 3 passed in silence, so I recorded a message, a final log, not for command, not for history, for the soldiers. "This is Cale Wren. If this message is playing, I've already done what none of you should have had to. I didn't fight for a flag. I fought for you. For the ones who froze in mud because supply ships never came. For the medics who stitched up traitors and friends the same. For the cooks who fed us with whatever was left. And for the kids who were born in bunkers and never saw sunlight without smoke. This isn't vengeance. It's surrender, on our terms. You didn't fail. They failed you." Hour 4. The chair beneath me vibrated. An alert pulsed. Incoming shuttle, not an attack, not military, civilian, unauthorized. ID tag? The Sentinel scanned, and my throat closed. Sarah Wren. My sister. She shouldn't be here. She was a diplomat, a civilian, someone who used to braid my hair during ceasefire nights and dream about worlds that didn't explode. I opened the hatch. She stepped in, still wearing the crest of peace. Her eyes burned with tears she refused to drop. "Cale, Sarah, what are you doing?" "What no one else ever would. You're threatening genocide." "I'm threatening extinction if extinction's the only way to stop extinction." She stepped closer. "Do you hear yourself?" "Yes, and I hate every word of it." "Then why?" "Because they'll never stop unless we show them what's waiting if they don't." She looked at the command pad. Red light, one button, still cold, still waiting. "This isn't you," she said. "It is now. You were the boy who cried when we stepped on beetles." "That boy's buried under Echelon Ridge with every soldier I couldn't bring home." She stood there, one breath, then another. Then, "What if they sign?" "Then I power it down." "What if they lie?" "Then I wake it back up." She didn't agree, but she didn't stop me. She just placed her hand on mine and whispered, "Then let them choose." Hour 5. The Varek Council returned. This time they brought the Earth delegates. 2 screens, 2 enemies, 1 offer. "We agree to the terms," said the Earth rep. "Ceasefire, full withdrawal, no tech salvage, no more born soldiers." "We will dismantle our weapon grids," said the Varek, "and share water rights." The room was quiet. Even the Sentinel dimmed, like it was holding its breath. "You both agree?" I asked. "Yes." "Then say it." They did. Together. 2 voices that had only ever spoken in blood. I entered the code, paused. "Final confirmation?" "Confirmed." The screen blinked. The weapon core dimmed. The sky stayed whole. Peace was not signed with applause. It was signed in silence. And silence, for the first time in centuries, meant no more dying. 3 days later, the Sentinel shut down. Not because it was broken, because it was finally done. I returned to the ridge. What was left of it? I stood where the last flare of orbital fire burned 1,000 lives into the soil, and I planted something. A flag? Number A tree. Just a seedling. Because now, the sky didn't have to burn to be seen. Years passed. I never returned to command. They wrote about me. Some called me a monster. Some called me a hero. I called myself tired. The tree grew. The ridge healed. And the last orbital weapon became a monument. No plaque, just a single engraving. We held the sky hostage until the world remembered it belonged to everyone. I never wanted to end the world. I just wanted someone to believe we could still live in it. And sometimes that means setting the match on the table and daring the monsters to blink first.